Hi and welcome to the Running Shoe Geek channel. Today we're talking about this shoe right over here, the Salomon Sense Ride 4. I like to think of the Sense Ride 4s as the Volkswagen Polo of trail running shoes. It's quite straightforward, it doesn't have all the bells and the whistles, but it's good at everything it does. And if I was told that I could only run with one pair of trail running shoes for the rest of my life, this would be my top pick. Having just passed the 200-mile mark in my pair, I thought it would be a good time to give the shoe compliments in areas I think it's strong and critique in areas that I think it should improve upon. Now, my first compliment, believe it or not, is the shoe's durability. Salomon aren't always synonymous with building bulletproof shoes, but after 200 miles, this shoe has very few signs of wear, and I've been very impressed. Like other Salomon shoes, this is a fairly slim-fitting shoe, and it does have a performance-orientated upper. So when you slip inside a broad foot inside the shoe, it tends to speed up the wear. So if you do have a broader foot, this is worth keeping in mind. As you can see, I'm not someone who cares too much about keeping my running shoes clean. But what is nice is that dirt rubs off of the materials on the Sense Rides quite easily. I happen to just be running through a stream and this cleaned my dirty Sense Rides quite easily. So if you are someone who likes to keep your shoes looking fresh, these are quite easily to be cleaned. So that is a weird plus about the shoe. The shoe's biggest selling point is definitely its versatility. It's one of the few trail shoes that I use to both race in and train in, and it handles the spectrum of paces very well. It also handles all types of trail terrains quite well. Although this isn't a Gore-Tex model, so I wouldn't use it for very wet and muddy conditions, and it also doesn't have the lug length for it. Aside from that, it handles all other trail types super well. On paper, the shoe weighs in at 280 grams in a men's sample size, which is neither light nor heavy. But what is surprising is that the shoe feels light on foot. So it just goes back to my point of the shoe having unrivaled versatility in the trail market. So what about the weaknesses of the shoe? Well, I think very few runners are going to put this on foot and dislike the shoe, unless, of course, the fit isn't compatible with their foot. But in the era of max cushion shoes that are buttery soft, there may be a runner who would wonder why they would get this shoe over a Speed Goat. Well, these shoes are trying to achieve totally different things. This is trying to give you a good proprioceptive feedback from the floor beneath you, which is more traditional of a trail shoe. It's trying to be as technical as possible based on allowing the runner to feel the surface a bit more beneath you. It's also not trying to be as soft nor as responsive as possible. It's trying to be right down the middle, being that traditional versatile trainer. I do think the upper needs to be slightly reworked, as the area just before your toes, in this section over here, creases and it creates a sound from time to time. This is not a big deal, and it certainly doesn't affect the shoe's performance nor stop me from running in the shoe, but it's something where if you are updating the shoe, it might as well be fixed. And the shoe does indeed update in Q1 next year, 2023. My last weakness about the shoe is quite a petty one. It's about the shoe's sizing, and the only reason I mention it is because maybe you also have the same issue. So I'm not a perfect Salomon size. I'm often between two half sizes. And coincidentally, I have the same problem with Adidas, and Adidas once owned Salomon. So maybe it's not so much a coincidence as some foot lasts or foot molds which determine the shape of the shoe being once upon a time shared by the brands. So I'm often not a pure size. I'm sort of neither one half size nor another half size up. I'm sort of in the middle, and I often have to sort of jump between the two or settle somewhere. So this is an issue I have. But I'm one of a much bigger sample size. There are going to be a lot of runners who favor Salomon sizing and find it to be the perfect fit. So that wraps up this shoe chat. I did actually give the shoe a comprehensive review last year, so do check out that video if you want more details about the Salomon Sense Ride. Other than that, subscribe to my channel if you enjoy chatting about running shoes, and we'll see you again soon. Happy running.